Capitol Hill to Wall Street. This is Politics and Profits with your host, Rick Amato.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Rick Amato. It's time for Politics and Profits.
We follow the trends on Capitol Hill that lead to the profits on Wall Street. We expose the hard facts of what your elected officials are doing when you're not looking. And we show you how you can profit from their politics. The American dream is alive and well, and you can be proud to call America your home. And now, it's Rick Amato.
Broadcasting from the edge of America, this is Politics and Profits. Welcome, everyone. I'm Rick Amato. Well, of course, the big news these days is impeachment. We're not going to touch that at this moment, but we will touch the other big news, and that is socialism. Why is this embracing of socialism and its values, if you will, taking hold in America? And nowhere is that more evidence than in New York's 14th District, represented by Democratic Congresswoman AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Well, guess what? AOC has a challenger. She is a challenger that is the only candidate that is born and raised in the Bronx, and she is pro-capitalism. You're going to meet that guest in just a moment. Joining in studio also is Michael Malgeri. Michael, you are author of the book, The Johnny Profit Series. You are a pro-capitalism advocate.
Absolutely.
And your book has been endorsed by Larry Kudlow, the president's economic advisor.
Right.
And you have endorsed the guest our viewers across America are about to meet. At this time, joining us via telephone from the Bronx is candidate for Congress challenging, as I say, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the only candidate born and raised in the district. And that is Ruth Papazian. Ruth, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Ruth, that was a mouthful I just put in there. I want to get out there. You're pro-capitalist. I would think that, a lot of things run through my mind. Number one is AOC has just chased away a big employer, Amazon. It's not going down well. How is the view of capitalism, in your opinion, in this environment we're in today, being received by the voters in District 14?
Well, in District 14, it's a middle-class community. It lies on either side of the Whitestone Bridge, so part of it is in the Bronx and part of it is in Queens. And the people in this community work very hard to get into the middle class, and they don't want to be bankrupted by AOC's very grandiose socialist policies.
It sounds like the American dream, these folks are there.
Oh, absolutely. They worked hard. They bought their own homes, and she constantly demonizes capitalism. And, when you think about it, what is capitalism? When I walk down the street in my neighborhood of Morris Park in the East Bronx, I see capitalism all around me. It's the Koreans who own the dry cleaning store and the Italian bread baker. That is capitalism. But she keeps talking about oligarchs.
Oligarchs. I agree with everything you just said, by the way, Ruth. All right, you have an announcement coming up, but before we get there, I want our viewers across America to get to know you. Why are you running, Ruth Papazian, and what are the top 3 issues in this campaign as you see them? Okay,
first I want to say it's very easy to remember my name. It's Papazian, pay like paychecks, and that's really one of the things I'm focused on. Now, I am running because I am from here and for here. I am a working class candidate. I have deep roots in the Bronx, and I know what my district wants and needs. So I will be focused on representing the voters in the East Bronx and Northwest Queens instead of pushing a radical agenda like AOC's Just Society, which she just unveiled. Now, it's really funny, but she hasn't learned anything from the failure of her Green New Deal, and even Democrats in the House couldn't support it when it was put to a vote. They voted present.
Great point.
Right? AOC is now back because she didn't learn from the first experience. She has a package of 6 bills that are aimed at transforming the United States into a socialist nation. Just to cite one example. So she wants to eradicate poverty merely by changing the government's definition of poverty. So what that means is she's going to raise the federal poverty line to triple the number of people who qualify for existing health and welfare programs. So now these newly poor, well, they're working class people who currently are self-sufficient. All of a sudden, she's calling them poor. So, by the way, her definition of poverty also includes not having internet access. So meanwhile, she chased Amazon away and the 25,000 jobs that it would have brought to Queens.
Unbelievable.
Now, for me, the best way to eradicate poverty is with good jobs that provide the income needed to enable people to afford to buy health insurance and things like high-speed internet access. Just calling somebody poor isn't going to eradicate poverty.
All right, and in a moment, we're going to have you make a special announcement. Before we do, Michael Malgeri, you been a guest of mine on One American News. I've known each other a while. You're a pro-capitalist guy. You're endorsing Ruth in New York's 14th district. You're here in Southern California. She's in the Bronx and Queens. Why are you endorsing Ruth Papazian?
Rick, 10 years ago, I predicted this vault by the Democrats to the left. And it came true. They are outright socialisms. They're not hiding who they are and what they are. So I had a resolution back then. It was submitted to Congress, but it never made it to the House floor for a vote. We wanted to resurrect it this year, and I was looking for candidates, and I found Ruth on Facebook. And she turned out to have the drive. She saw the vision right away, and she believes in capitalism. She's very much against socialism, and we formed this bond.
Are you concerned capitalism is a dirty word in this culture today?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the purpose of it. You're going to hear from Ruth's announcement. We're going to change that. We're going to make capitalism the moral system.
All right, Ruth, only candidate born and raised in the Bronx. Your slogan is from here, for here. You have an announcement that we made on this show, Politics and Profits with Rick Amato Across America. What's that announcement?
The announcement is that when I am elected, my very first legislative act will be to introduce a resolution on the rewards of capitalism, which are knowledge, morality, and empowerment, because capitalism rocks. So we're calling that the Rock Me Resolution, and it affirms that the practice of the fundamental principles of capitalism, which include private ownership of the means of production, voluntary participation, competition, and wage labor. So these fundamentals of capitalism have resulted in increased wages, wealth, and upward mobility worldwide. And I just want to add something about that. People might not be aware of it, but for the first time in human history, there are more people in the middle class than at any other time. More than half of the world population is in the middle class now, and capitalism did that, not socialism.
Capitalism did that's a great statistic, Michael Malgeri. I've not heard that before.
Yeah, and this is the purpose of the Rock Me Resolution, to provide this platform where not only conservative candidates, Republican candidates can rally around, but these organizations like Turning Point that have 1,200 campus clubs throughout the universities, PragerU and the great job they're doing, Candace Owens and the Blexit movement. We really want people to rally around this and go against this just society, which is the complete opposite of the things that capitalism has accomplished.
All right, and she says, it's the first time in history, more people than the largest majority in the middle class. That's capitalism. That's not the government.
Not at all.
We're almost out of time here, Ruth. First of all, how is the campaign going? You, of course, are in the Republican primary.
The campaign is going great. We're going to be doing a lot of announcements. I'm giving a major speech next week in the East Bronx, and I'm really getting excited about this because people are responding to the message, and they want something different than ALC.
Well, I know they have good pizza there.
They do.
They sure do.
Yeah.
Another example of capitalism. Pizza
all right, Ruth, your website, of course, is ruthforcongress.com.
Yes.
And before we let you go, anything you have for the viewers across America learning about you for the very first time right now?
Well, first, I would like them to go to rootforcongress.com so they find out more about the campaign, to donate, to volunteer, and they can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at rootforcongress.com. And what I would like to tell people about me is that I am the first member of my family who was born in the U.S. My parents immigrated here legally from Egypt, and right after they left, Nasser instituted Arab socialism, and Egypt's economy still hasn't recovered from it. And I didn't know English when I went to public school.
Wow.
And I learned it well enough to become a health and medical journalist. And I worked my way through college.
And she has a New York accent.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I did secretarial and clerical jobs, and I went all the way through a master's degree, and nobody has to pay for my education.
That's pretty amazing. All right, Ruth Papazian, Republican candidate for Congress, looking to challenge Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, throw out socialism, bring in capitalism. We'll watch your campaign. We wish you luck. We look forward to you coming back.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, the Rocky Resolution. I'm Rick Amato from the Liberatory CPA Studios. Back after this.
Politics and Profits with Rick Amato is brought to you by Liberatory Accounting, the IRS problem solvers.